This is my personal Cybertruck build. It's kind of like an overland themed build, and I really love it. I just got back from a 6,000-mile road trip from Michigan to California with this truck as is. Some of the salt that you see here is from the Bonneville Salt Flats. Some of the mud you see is from Moab and Joshua Tree. And so this truck has actually seen things. This rig is wildly functional, it looks great, and is really good on range. Some of the things that you see here are provided by the manufacturer, but not everything, and I believe everything should be listed down below in the description. So let's get started. The first thing here is the Mars Adventure Gear roof rack. This is kind of the star of the show. This controls almost everything that you see here. This is both the front and rear sections of the Expedition rack, and it does pretty much everything I need it to. Underneath here, there are tons of these crossbar slats. Those can be modified and configured in just about any way that you want. And so because of that, I get to mount a proper rooftop tent on the top of this truck. And that is the best thing that this truck could possibly have. I had the inflatable, the Tesla tent for quite some time, which sits underneath the tonneau cover, 0 hit to range, but it's just, it's too much work to inflate and tear down. It's terrible. It's comfortable, but it's just not my thing. So I'm really excited to have a proper rooftop tent. This is also the Mars Adventure Gear Aeroblade rooftop tent. It's only 3.5 inches thick. It's great on range. And you know, with this whole roof rack and everything you see here, I'm doing like 500 watt-hours per mile at 70 miles per hour on the highway. That's not bad. I do maybe 600 watt-hours per mile at 80 miles an hour, which also is pretty good. And if I throttle speed down to 55, 60, I'm getting like 450. And a normal, that's like 10, 15% more than a normal, you know, stock Cybertruck. So I do love it. And that's with the tent, with the roof rack, and all of that. So I do want to show you how this tent opens really quick. There are 4 latches on the side here. Bingo, that's the first one. We've got 2, 3, and then 4. This whole roof rack can just pop right open just like that. And that's the entire thing. 3 big doors on the side. So then to put away the tent, all you do is collapse it down with the strap, make sure everything is kind of neat and tidy, and all you do is latch that thing shut. Easy as that. Come around this side, do this one, and there's one more on this other side. Just like that. If you've seen any of my videos with the Cyber tent, that inflatable one, you know how bad that thing is to set up and tear down. This is way, way better. On my recent 6,000-mile road trip to California, which is a lot of miles, by the way. I don't recommend it, but it was a lot of fun. This tent did about 525 watt-hours per mile on the highway over the entire trip. And so 525 watt-hours per mile is excellent because that's across the entire country. That is highway efficiency. Other things I put in this roof rack are a spare tire, traction boards, my Starlink, and a bunch of other things. So this roof rack is really functional, and it does not require the tent or vice versa. The other super cool part about this roof rack is the lights. So this is a 48-volt light bar in the front. Not only is it like a quarter of the price of what Tesla wants for their light bar, but you can actually buy it today. And so this wires directly into the 48-volt roof feed on the side of the truck. And then on the back side, there are also 2 more 48-volt lights connected to the same power feed that are these yellow or amber rock lights. These are awesome off-road. I took these to Moab on my way out to California, and they are awesome. They make a huge, huge difference in all of your off-road adventures. All of those 3 lights are connected to the roof feed, which is just right here. It pops out of the roof mount here. Right up here, everything is wired together on the same circuit, so they are all on front and back. And I've also connected, I'm not sure if you can see these, little quick disconnects at every little junction so that they're all easily removable, or wiring can change and all that. This rig is still under construction. This rig is never complete. And so to have those quick disconnects makes a huge difference in being able to rewire, switch things around, all of the above. I kind of want to put these lights on the sides, but we'll see what happens. On this side of the roof rack, we have a shovel mount and another spot for another shovel or axe or whatever. I keep my worst shovel on here so that if anyone steals it, I get to keep my good shovel, but it does come in handy. So that is the roof rack for the most part. That's pretty much everything that's on this roof rack: the tent, the shovel, the lights, the wiring, all of that. On the back side here is the Starlink. This is a Starlink Mini. I bought it for like $349 on sale on Refurb Deal. They sell them for even cheaper now. But this is also a Mars Adventure Gear crossbar. This goes into this rearmost accessory mount point, and this is wired into the Frunk's 48-volt power feed. The problem with most Starlink dishes and installs on these trucks is that they use AC power. They just plug into the outlets in the bed or in the cabin, but when you plug into AC power, like at a campsite, you can't actually use it. So all of your AC power gets turned off when you're charging on AC. This, by plugging it into and plumbing it into that 48-volt power feed, it can stay on no matter what you're doing. So if you're charging AC, DC, anything works. So this always stays powered. I will show you here also in the bed what this looks like. Once again, this truck is never complete and this wiring is kind of a mess. I do want to clean this up a little bit, but as you can see, this is another one of those quick disconnects. So this just comes apart there, and that's the entire thing. So I can take off this entire bar, remove the Starlink without doing anything crazy to the wiring. It's not permanent by any stretch of the imagination. But then this black wire here runs all the way up the side of the truck. You can kind of see it, how it jumps around in here. I had the Starlink installed on top of the roof rack at one point. So it runs all the way along the ridge of the truck, past this power feed, and down the side of the windshield. There's a cavity in there that's just big enough to hold a wire. And then it runs into the frunk where the power feed is. It is a ridiculous wiring solution, but it actually works, and it works really well. So then you can just control it on the screen, just like you can the lights. From what I can tell, this Starlink has no whistle or aero drag or noise, wind noise of any sort. The wind coming over the roof rack in the tent makes that this doesn't affect range at all. And when you're on the highway, it still does full speeds. I can take a Zoom call with this dish at 80 miles an hour on the highway. It is chef's kiss. I love it. Now to the bed. One of the things that I carry in this bed is this little collapsible box. This is made by JOWUA. This just kind of, I don't know, builds up. And so this has become kind of a permanent addition to my bed to be a catch-all for snacks, groceries, books, whatever else. This just sits anywhere I need it. This actually opens up too. So on my road trip, I keep this in the cabin with all my snacks or trash, I don't know, stuff like that. So that is that box. In the bed, I'm also carrying a full-size spare. This I could go on for quite some time about. This spare used to live on the top of my roof rack, but then with a tent, I got to put it somewhere else, which appears to be the bed. It's not the perfect solution. The tire itself is bulky. It takes up a ton of room. I hate it in the bed, honestly, but there's nowhere else to put it. So what do? I put it in the bed. But it is a full-size spare and does what it needs to do. It sits there and looks disgusting, I guess. In the far back corner is a huge air compressor that plugs into the AC power of the bed, and that thing can inflate any of these tires within a minute or two, and it's probably overkill, but again, it works well. It does what it needs to do. It serves its purpose. Then the last thing in the bed here are the traction boards. These are X-Bull traction boards. I think I bought them on Amazon. Those actually mount to this L-track here, just with this little contraption here. These come with the mounting hardware except for the part that connects it to the L-track itself, and so those can just pop right out afterwards. And they're fine. I don't think they're rated for the weight of this truck, so I'm assuming that the first time I have to use them, I'll break them, but that's kind of what they're for. A lot of them do break on their first or second try, so I bought kind of the affordable ones, the cheaper ones, and if I use them a lot and break them, I'll buy the better ones. Who cares? One of the other things in the bed here too, these L-tracks are surprisingly useful, and so this is a generic hook that can be removed and put anywhere on this L-track. And so I've got a bunch of them in here, but these just kind of sit right in here somehow, just like that. So I can hang groceries or anything on there. I've got several of those throughout. I lied, there's one more thing. The sub-trunk, or the sub-bed storage. Down here is where I keep, this is kind of the garage of the truck. I keep cleaning supplies down here. I keep the mobile connector down here. I keep an umbrella. These are recovery ropes, torque wrench. I do have a bottle jack to replace that full-size spare on the road, although I don't actually know if this thing is tall enough for this truck. Test your jacks before you have to use them. And don't be me. Ratchet set, extension cable, phone mount, paper towel, all of that. So that's what lives all in my sub-bed storage. I think they call it the gear vault. I call it the garage. So that is the entirety of my bed. Let's move on to the cabin really quick. The only thing that I really have in this cabin, and I like to keep it as clean as possible, except when I'm on a road trip, is this phone mount. This is JOWUA's phone mount. It is a MagSafe and all of that, so my phone will just mount directly to it. So when I'm using Onyx Off-Road or Waze or anything like that, it will charge my phone and also show it front and center for me. That's a lot better than constantly looking down to this center, the phone toaster, if you call it. I've seen it called the phone toaster because this overheats. So when your phone is up here in front of the air vent, it doesn't overheat, even in direct sunlight. So I keep it there on a road trip, you know, all day long. It never overheats and it actually charges to full, unlike the built-in phone chargers. This is a huge game changer if you're using apps like Onyx Off-Road. And for the grand finale, the frunk. In this frunk, I have built my own kitchen. So this is a big chuck box that I built in my basement. It took me several tries to make it. So no, I don't have the dimensions or a how-to video for you because this took me weeks to make. And inside of here, I've got everything for your camp kitchen. I've got plates, utensils, propane, spices, bug spray, and AeroPress for coffee. I've also got this electric kettle, which I upgraded from my jet boil. So this just plugs into the back. It's awesome by STOKE VOLTAICS. And man, it's useful. I use it everywhere I go. I'll make coffee at a supercharger. I will cook myself a steak in the middle of nowhere. It is wonderful. I even have stuff in here to do dishes, biodegradable soap. It is awesome. So this is a very odd and useful part of my truck and has quickly won me over. I wish I could actually like make this and give it to people because it's unbelievably useful and also organized. I used to keep like a tote of just jumbled junk in my in the back of my truck, and now it's just, I have this and it is amazing. What is next for this build? Well, that's a good question. I'm thinking that I still need some kind of mechanism to hold water, whether that's a canister in the back or some kind of integrated something to the roof rack. I'd love an awning. I would love, Tesla has talked about launching a rock slider kit for, and also battery protection. It's all steel underneath the truck. They've teased it, but they have not launched it. So maybe that's next. A lot of wire management might be next. But yeah, that is my personal Cybertruck Overland build. And again, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's functional, it's useful, it's good on range. And so if you're looking for any of these pieces and parts, most of it's gonna be in the description below. But anyways, let me know if you have questions about this one. Hit me up in the comments below or on Twitter. I will see you guys in the next one.